Imagine this for a moment. You wake up one morning, you look into the mirror, and you realize something feels missing. Not your clothes, not your appearance, but something deeper. Something inside of you feels like it's fading. That, my friends, is the quiet danger of losing your identity. See, life has a way of pulling us in 100 directions. Society tells us who we should be. Our jobs label us. Social media tries to box us in. And sometimes, in trying so hard to fit into everyone else's expectations, we lose the most important thing we were born with, our identity. Today, I want to shake you awake. I want to coach you, to guide you, to remind you, don't lose your identity. Because once you lose that, you lose your power, your voice, your reason for being. The trap of becoming what others expect. When you were a child, you didn't have this problem. Think back. When you were 5, 6, 7 years old, you didn't care if your clothes matched, if your laugh was too loud, if your dreams sounded unrealistic. You were authentically you. If someone asked, "What do you want to be?" you didn't hesitate. You'd shout, "An astronaut, a dancer, a superhero, a doctor." You believed it because your identity was pure, unshaped, free. But then, slowly, society started chiseling away at it. Teachers told you, "That's unrealistic." Friends laughed at your dreams. Family said, "Be practical." The world whispered, "Fit in, or you won't belong." And so, piece by piece, many of us trade our authentic identity for an approved version of ourselves. But let me tell you something as your coach today. The world doesn't need a watered-down version of you. It needs the real you. A real-life example. Think of Oprah Winfrey. She grew up in poverty. People told her she'd never make it, that she didn't look like what success looked like on TV. She could have given in, blended in, played small. But she didn't lose her identity. She leaned into her truth. She said, "I may not fit into your mold, but I'll create my own." And today, she's not just successful, she's iconic. Her power came not from becoming someone else, but from staying rooted in who she was. The coach's truth. Let me say this directly to you. Backhand index pointing right, the most dangerous prison is the one where you lock away your true self. When you silence your voice to please others. When you hide your uniqueness to avoid judgment. When you sacrifice your values just to fit in. That's when you lose yourself. And here's the kicker. You can achieve all the money, all the fame, all the respect in the world, and still feel empty inside if it's not aligned with your true identity. Identity is power. Your identity is not just a label. It's your power source. It's what fuels your resilience when life knocks you down. It's what gives meaning to your struggles. It's what inspires others to follow you. Think of Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison. The system tried to strip him of his identity as a leader, as a fighter for justice, but he never let them take his inner truth. And when he walked out of those prison gates, he didn't just walk out as a free man. He walked out as the very identity he refused to let die. A leader, a unifier, a symbol of courage. That's the power of holding onto your identity. A moment of reflection. I want you to pause right now and ask yourself, who am I? Really? What values define me? What parts of myself have I hidden just to be accepted? Because until you answer these questions, you're building your life on someone else's foundation. And let me tell you, when the storms come, and they will come, only a life built on your true identity will stand strong. Emotional crescendo. Listen to me loud and clear. Fire, don't lose yourself in a world that's constantly trying to make you someone else. Fire, don't bury your voice because others can't handle your truth. Fire, don't dilute your greatness just because it makes people uncomfortable. You were born an original. Don't die a copy. Real life coaching story. I once coached a young man, let's call him David. Brilliant, creative, passionate about music. But his parents, they wanted him to be an engineer. He went to college, studied engineering, graduated with honors. From the outside, he was a success. But every time I spoke with him, his eyes looked dim. His energy was gone. One day, I asked him, "David, when was the last time you felt alive?" He whispered, "When I was on stage playing guitar." That was his identity, an artist, not an engineer. I told him, David, you can succeed in engineering, but you'll never feel fulfilled until you live your truth. Fast forward 2 years. David took the risk, pursued music, and though it was tough, he's now creating songs that inspire thousands. He reclaimed his identity, and with it, his joy, your call to action. So, here's my question for you. Backhand index pointing right, are you living your life as you, or as the version others expect of you? If you've lost your identity, I'm here to remind you, it's not gone forever. It's waiting for you to reclaim it, but it requires courage. It requires honesty, and it requires that you stop running from yourself. Building the foundation. Here's where the training begins. Step 1. Know your core values. What matters most to you? Not your friends, not society. You. Step 2. Protect your voice. Don't let others silence it. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Step 3. Choose purpose over approval. Every time you choose approval over purpose, you lose a piece of yourself. Stop trading authenticity for acceptance. Let me tell you the truth. You are not defined by the roles you play. You are not defined by the job you hold. You are not defined by the opinions of others. Backhand index pointing right, you are defined by the essence that makes you, you. And until you protect that essence, you'll always feel like something's missing. The danger of mask living. Too many people today are professional mask wearers. They wear a mask at work. Serious, agreeable, careful not to stand out. They wear a mask with family. Obedient, respectful, even if it suffocates them. They wear a mask on social media. Happy, successful, flawless, even when inside, they're breaking. But let me ask you, how long can you breathe with a mask on before you suffocate? Living with masks might earn you approval, but it will cost you your identity. Real-life example, Robin Williams. Think about the late Robin Williams. To the world, he was a comedian, a man who wore masks of joy and laughter. Yet behind those masks was a man fighting deep battles. The world loved the mask, but he struggled because people didn't see his pain, his truth. That's the danger when people applaud the mask and the real you feels invisible. Your task, my friend, is to strip away the masks and say, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. The courage to be different. Society rewards conformity, but history celebrates those who dared to be different. Albert Einstein was mocked in school. Teachers said he was slow. Rosa Parks was told to sit down and stay quiet. She refused. Malala Yousafzai was told to stop fighting for education. She risked her life for it. These people didn't lose their identity in the noise of conformity. They protected it even when it cost them comfort, safety, or approval. And that's why we remember them. Emotional coaching moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself standing in a crowd of thousands. Everyone is shouting what you should be. Be safer. Be like us. Don't stand out. Now imagine yourself stepping forward and in a clear, strong voice saying, this is who I am. This is my truth. This is my identity. And I will not trade it for your approval. That moment, that decision, that's where freedom begins. Real-life coaching example. A young woman I once mentored, let's call her Aisha, had a passion for painting, but her community didn't value art. They told her, it's a hobby, not a career. She listened. She pursued accounting instead. On paper, she was successful, but her heart felt empty. During one of our sessions, I asked her, if money didn't matter, what would you do? Without hesitation, she said, I'd paint every single day. That was her identity calling. I told her, don't betray yourself just to be accepted. Fast forward, Aisha took the bold step of showcasing her art online. It wasn't easy. The criticism came, the doubt came, but guess what else came? Joy, fulfillment, clients, and eventually financial success doing what she loved. She stopped hiding her identity, and life rewarded her. The 3 thieves of identity. If you're not careful, there are 3 thieves that will steal your identity. Comparison, looking at others and thinking, I'm not good enough. Criticism, listening to others say, you can't do that. Comfort, settling for less because it's easier than fighting for your true self. Each one chips away at who you are. But here's the coaching breakthrough. When you recognize the thieves, you can guard against them. Comparison is a trap. Let me say this, comparison is the death of identity. Because every time you measure yourself against someone else, you're using the wrong ruler. Imagine a fish comparing itself to a bird and feeling worthless because it can't fly. Absurd, right? But isn't that exactly what we do? You have your own gifts, your own lane, your own timeline. Stop comparing. Start becoming. Criticism can't define you. When people criticize you, remember this. They're judging you through the lens of their limitations. If someone tells you, that's impossible, what they really mean is, it's impossible for me. Don't let their small vision shrink your big identity. Comfort is the silent killer. And then there's comfort, the most dangerous thief of all. It whispers, stay safe. Don't risk it. Don't change. But comfort zones may feel safe, yet they slowly kill your identity. Because your true self craves growth, adventure, and expression. Growth and identity live just outside your comfort zone. Real life crescendo, Michael Jordan. Let's talk about Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine if he had listened to the criticism, compared himself to others, or stayed in the comfort of quitting. But he didn't. He leaned into his identity, an athlete, a competitor, a relentless winner. And the world knows his name today because he didn't let the thieves steal his truth. A coaching exercise for you. Right now, grab a notebook. Write down 3 things. Who am I at my core? What masks am I wearing that are not truly me? What's one bold step I can take this week to live closer to my true identity? This exercise may feel simple, but it can change your life if you take it seriously. Emotional crescendo. Fire you don't need to fit in, you were born to stand out. Fire you don't need everyone's approval. You need your own. Fire you don't need to be perfect, you need to be authentic. The world is waiting, not for another copy, not for another mask, but for the real you. The pain of regret. Do you know what's worse than failure? Regret. I've spoken to people in their final years of life, and you know what they regret most? Not the risks they took, not the mistakes they made. They regret the chances they never took, the songs they never sang, the truths they never spoke. They regret losing their identity in the noise of life. Don't let that be your story. Transition. So far, we've uncovered the danger of losing identity, the masks we wear, and the thieves that steal it. Let's get real right now. Some of you are listening, and deep inside, you're thinking, Coach, I hear you, but I've already lost myself. I don't even know who I am anymore. And I want to tell you this truth. It's never too late to reclaim your identity. I don't care if you're 20, 40, 60, or 80. Your identity isn't gone. It may be buried under years of noise, pain, expectations, or fear, but it's still there, waiting, the journey back to yourself. Reclaiming your identity is not about finding something new. It's about uncovering what's always been inside you. Think of it like a diamond buried in the dirt. The diamond doesn't stop being a diamond just because it's covered. It only needs to be uncovered, cleaned, and polished to shine again. That's what reclaiming identity is about. Step 1. Remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Ask yourself, what did I love doing as a child? When did I feel the most alive? What dreams did I abandon because someone said they were unrealistic? Because often, your childhood passions hold clues to your true identity. Real-life example, Colonel Sanders. You know the story of Colonel Harlan Sanders, founder of KFC? He didn't succeed early in life. In fact, he failed at multiple careers. But deep inside, he always had a passion for cooking chicken. People told him it was silly, unrealistic. But in his 60s, yes, his 60s, he returned to that passion. He reclaimed his identity as a cook, as a creator, and he built one of the biggest food empires in the world. Lesson: it's never too late to go back to what makes you you. Step 2. Confront the lies. Some of you are carrying lies spoken over you. You're not smart enough. You're not talented enough. You'll never amount to anything. And slowly, those lies shaped your false identity. But let me coach you on this. A lie doesn't become truth just because you believed it for years. The moment you confront it, the moment you say, "That's not me," the chains start breaking. Emotional crescendo. Fire, you are not your failures. Fire, you are not your past. Fire, you are not the names they called you. You are more. You always were. And reclaiming your identity starts with silencing the lies and replacing them with the truth. Step 3, rewrite your story. Here's the thing, you can't change your past, but you can change the meaning you attach to it. Example, failure? It's not proof you're worthless. It's proof you tried. Rejection? It's not that you're unlovable. It's that the wrong people didn't see your worth. Struggle? It's not punishment. It's training for your destiny. When you rewrite the story, you reclaim the power. Real-life example, J.K. Rowling. Before she became the world-famous author of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling was a single mother, broke, rejected by multiple publishers. Society could have labeled her failure, hopeless, unworthy. But she refused to let those labels define her identity. She rewrote her story. She said, "I'm a writer. This is who I am." And because she stayed true to that identity, her story didn't just change her life. It changed millions. Step 4. Surround yourself with mirrors, not masks. Here's a powerful truth. The people around you either reflect your true identity or pressure you to wear masks. If you surround yourself with people who only love the mask, you'll lose yourself. But if you surround yourself with people who see, honor, and challenge the real you, you'll rise. That's why community matters. That's why coaches, mentors, friends with vision are essential. You need mirrors, people who reflect back your truth, even when you forget it. Coaching story. I once worked with a corporate executive, let's call him Rahim. He was successful, wealthy, but deeply unhappy. Why? Because his environment was full of masks. Everyone around him cared only about his title, his money, his image. When we stripped all that away and I asked, "Who are you? Really?" He broke down. He said, "I don't know." Through coaching, he rebuilt his circle. He found people who valued him, not his achievements. And little by little, his true identity came alive again. Rahim didn't need more money. He needed mirrors. Step 5, take small, authentic steps. Reclaiming identity doesn't always mean massive overnight changes. Sometimes it's about small acts of courage. Speaking up when you'd normally stay silent. Choosing a hobby that truly excites you. Saying no to things that don't align with you. Saying yes to what does. Every small, authentic step reclaims a piece of your true self. Real-life example, Lady Gaga. At the start of her career, Lady Gaga was told she was too weird, too eccentric. She could have toned it down, worn the mask, blended in. But instead, she leaned harder into her uniqueness. Every outfit, every song, every performance screamed, "This is who I am," and the world couldn't ignore it. Her identity didn't limit her. It made her unforgettable. The inner voice. Deep down, you have an inner voice, a whisper that says, "This is me. This is my truth." But for years, you've drowned it out with noise, social expectations, self-doubt, fear. Now is the time to listen again, because that inner voice is your compass back to your identity. Emotional coaching breakthrough. Fire, stop waiting for permission to be yourself. Fire, stop apologizing for who you are. Fire, stop betraying your soul just to belong. Your identity is your gift to the world. And if you hide it, the world loses something only you could bring. Practical coaching exercise. Tonight, I want you to do this. Write down 5 moments in your life when you felt most alive. Look for the pattern. What do those moments have in common? That pattern reveals your true identity. For example, if your happiest moments were when you were helping people, your identity may be rooted in service. If they were when you were creating, your identity is artistic. If they were when you were leading, your identity is influence. The clues are there. You just have to look. Real-life example, Muhammad Ali. The world called him Cassius Clay, but he said, "That's not my name. That's not my identity." People mocked him, hated him, rejected him, but he stood firm. "I am Muhammad Ali," and he didn't just change his own life. He became a symbol of courage, faith, and authenticity, because he refused to let the world define him. Transition. So here's where we are. We've learned how people lose their identity. We've exposed the thieves. And now we've taken the steps to reclaim it. But the journey doesn't stop here. Because once you reclaim your identity, the world will test it. People will challenge it. Life will shake it. So in the next part, I'll coach you through how to protect your identity for life, so you never lose it again, no matter what storms come your way. Now listen closely. Reclaiming your identity is powerful, but holding on to it, that's where the real challenge begins. Because the world will test you, the storms will come, and every challenge will ask, do you really believe in who you are? If you're not prepared, you'll slip back into masks. But if you're rooted, you'll stand unshakable. The 3 tests of identity. Once you reclaim your identity, life gives you 3 major tests. The test of pressure, will you stay true when the world pushes you to conform? The test of pain, will you hold onto your identity in seasons of struggle? The test of praise, will you remain authentic when success tempts you to forget who you are? Let's break these down. 1. The test of pressure. Pressure comes in many forms. Peer pressure, family expectations, cultural norms. Example, Malcolm X. He was pressured to stay silent, to blend in, to not challenge the system. But he refused. His identity as a fighter for justice burned too strong. Pressure will always try to bend you. But here's the truth. Diamonds are formed under pressure. When you hold to your identity under pressure, you don't break, you shine. 2. The test of pain. Pain has a way of making us question ourselves. When life hurts, when losses pile up, the voice of doubt grows loud. Maybe I'm not who I thought I was. Maybe I should give up. But pain doesn't destroy identity. It reveals it. Think of Bethany Hamilton, the surfer who lost her arm in a shark attack. Many said her career was over, but she said, "Surfing is who I am. Losing an arm doesn't change that." And she went back to the ocean, proving her identity stronger than her pain. 3. The test of praise. Success can be just as dangerous as failure, because when everyone's clapping, it's easy to lose yourself in the applause. How many celebrities forget their identity when fame blinds them? But look at someone like Keanu Reeves. Despite fame, he stays grounded. He's known for kindness, humility, authenticity. Success didn't steal his identity, it revealed it. Emotional crescendo. Fire pressure can't steal your identity unless you let it. Fire pain can't erase it, it can only strengthen it. Fire praise can't define you, your truth defines you. Your identity is stronger than the test. Protecting your identity. So how do you protect your identity for life? Let me give you 4 strategies. Strategy 1. Define your non-negotiables. Non-negotiables are the boundaries you refuse to cross, no matter what. If honesty is your identity, you never compromise it for money. If family is your identity, you never sacrifice them for fame. If faith is your identity, you don't trade it for approval. When you set your non-negotiables, you protect yourself from losing who you are. Strategy 2. Daily identity check. Every day ask yourself, did I live today as the real me, or did I wear masks to please others? If the answer leans toward masks, adjust tomorrow. Daily awareness keeps you anchored. Strategy 3. Anchor to a bigger purpose. Your identity is strongest when tied to a purpose beyond yourself. Think of Mother Teresa. Her identity wasn't about fame or recognition, it was about serving the poor. That purpose kept her grounded no matter what. When you live for something bigger than approval, you stop needing masks. Strategy 4. Practice courage reps. Courage is like a muscle, you build it by using it. Start small. Speak your opinion in a meeting. Share your art online. Tell someone no when it doesn't align with you. Each act of courage reinforces your identity. And over time, you become unshakable. Real life story, Nelson Mandela. Even after 27 years in prison, Mandela came out with his identity intact. A leader for peace and justice. Why? Because every day in that cell, he rehearsed his truth. He remembered his non-negotiables. He refused to let pain rewrite his identity. And when freedom came, he led not from bitterness, but from authenticity. Emotional coaching breakthrough. Fire you protect your identity not by avoiding challenges, but by facing them rooted in truth. Fire you don't wait for life to get easier. You get stronger in who you are. Fire your authenticity is your armor. A coaching exercise. Take a sheet of paper. Write at the top, "This is who I am." Then list 5 statements that define your identity. For example, I am a creator. I am a truth teller. I am a servant leader. I am resilient. I am unapologetically authentic. Now, every morning, read them out loud, because the more you affirm your identity, the harder it becomes for the world to steal it. Real-life example, Simone Biles. The gymnast Simone Biles shocked the world when she chose to step back from competition during the Olympics for her mental health. Many criticized her, but she stood firm. She knew her identity was more than medals. She said, "I'm more than gymnastics." That decision, though controversial, was identity protection in action. Freedom of authenticity. Here's the paradox. When you finally stop trying to be what others want, you unlock a freedom they'll never understand. Authenticity is freedom. Identity is strength. And once you live in that truth, life feels lighter. Because you're no longer acting, you're living. Emotional crescendo. Fire the world may not always accept you, but that's okay. You're not here for everyone's approval. Fire the storms may rage, but you're anchored in truth. Fire the masks may tempt you, but the real you is stronger. Never forget, your identity is your greatest asset. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Don't lose your identity. My friend, when we talk about identity, we are not talking about some shallow label on the surface. We are talking about the core of who you are, the foundation of your being. Without it, life becomes like trying to build a skyscraper on sand. Every storm knocks you down, every criticism feels like a dagger, and every rejection convinces you that you're not enough. But let me remind you, you are not what they said about you. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the failure of yesterday. You are the sum of resilience, courage, faith, and your willingness to keep standing when life tries to crush you. The story of the painter who almost quit. I once knew a young man named Raza. He was a brilliant painter. His art captured emotions that words couldn't. But life wasn't kind to him. His family laughed at his dream, telling him, "Art will not feed you." His teachers advised him to become practical and leave painting behind. He listened for a while. He buried his brushes, closed his sketchbook, and tried to fit into a job he hated. But deep down, his identity was calling him. One night, after years of suppressing it, he couldn't take it anymore. He picked up his old brush, dipped it in paint, and started to draw. Hours turned into days and days into weeks. His passion roared back to life. Today, his art hangs in galleries. His work is recognized internationally. And the same family who once mocked him proudly tells people, "That's our son." What changed? Not talent, he always had that. Not opportunity, he created that himself. What changed was that he stopped losing himself. He chose to fight for his identity. The greatest loss. Do you know what the greatest loss in life is? It's not money. It's not time. It's not even relationships. The greatest loss is when a person loses themselves while trying to please the world. Because here's the truth. No matter how much you try to fit in, people will always find something to criticize. If you bend, they'll tell you you're weak. If you stand tall, they'll call you arrogant. If you chase your dream, they'll call you crazy. If you stay silent, they'll call you timid. So why not live as your authentic self? Why not hold onto your identity with both hands and never let go? Emotional crescendo. Listen to me. Stop trying to shrink who you are. Stop apologizing for your passion. Stop watering down your personality so others can feel comfortable. You were not born to be a copy. You were not born to be a shadow. You were not born to be acceptable. You were born to be you, the fullest, brightest, most unapologetic version of yourself. The woman who refused to change her accent. There's a story of a woman named Maria who moved to a new country. Every time she spoke, people mocked her accent. Some even laughed behind her back. First, she tried to change it. She practiced, forced herself, and almost lost her beautiful tone. But then one day she thought, why am I ashamed of my roots? Why am I hiding the very sound of where I come from? So she stopped pretending. She embraced her accent. She stood tall and spoke with pride. That authenticity made her stand out. Today, she's a powerful speaker who inspires thousands. Her accent, the thing they once mocked, became her signature strength. Your identity is your power. Maybe it's your voice. Maybe it's your culture. Maybe it's your dream. Maybe it's the way you think differently from others. Whatever it is, stop hiding it. Stop burying it. That's your identity. That's your power. The world doesn't need another clone. The world needs you. Let me tell you this with all the conviction in my soul. If you lose your identity, you lose your compass. And if you lose your compass, you wander endlessly, even if you reach success. Because what's success worth if you don't even recognize the person in the mirror? Fire, so here's my call to you. Guard your identity like treasure. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Live boldly, live truly, live as yourself. The moment you choose authenticity over approval, you will find freedom. And freedom, my friend, is the greatest success of all.